Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, greetings. I'd like to take you to a tiny little community a couple dozen miles northwest of the Portland metro area in a neighboring county. A little town named Scappoose. Its claim to fame? A gigantic candle along US Highway 30. Prior to that, Steinfeld sauerkraut was was out here, but for whatever reason, they no longer exist here. But undeterred to these different, to the change, Scappoose has a goal. After the election in November, they had an interim council member who left and left the seat vacant, which was filled by a new member, Joe Haugen. Another fill in, Marissa Jacobs, won her seat from this previous election. So she will begin, both of these individuals will begin their first full terms. And Council President Tyler Miller, who was appointed by or elected by the City Council to the position of president after Greason resigned last February, was reelected to his term and as the council president. They have a goal. Rather, they have four goals. The first one is they seek to improve communication. And this one is difficult in the sense that the only people seated in the gallery at city council meetings are most often people who are scheduled to speak. Granted, you had one individual from a neighboring community who's in the Scappoose tax district, an individual by the name of Joe, who was wanting to address certain points such as bicycle safety in the Warren area, as well as developing resources. Essentially, you know, great, great suggestion, developing a facility that caters to welding and woodworking and allows for fraternity to be fostered. But the one big issue with the Scappoose's communication is number one, the community doesn't go to the city council meetings. They're only an hour, maybe two at the most, every 2 weeks. The other part is also on the community of Scappoose, and that is they limit their city council meetings and economic development council meetings to uploading to YouTube only. And I believe they have a presence on Facebook, but nobody uses Facebook anymore. If you want your information out there, it needs to be on X. I'd like to promote another platform, but the reality is, for example, Gab doesn't have it. Uh, X has it. That's where it needs to be posted if you want community engagement. But their goal is to establish more, communication. And the only other way to do that is essentially just to put yourself out there in the community, interacting with everybody as if you're on the campaign trail 7 days a week, 52 weeks of the year. And it's not efficient anymore. People have different schedules, and it's not going to cover it. And I have no idea what these city councilors do when they're not at the meeting. I presume they have jobs, and some of them, Councilor Jacobs made mention of having come from the corporate world. Whether she still works in the corporate world or has retired, I don't know. But I presume others have other obligations during the rest of the week. So if you want better communication, you need to expand your communication base, and that is leveraging every available means of broadcasting your message. And that ties into better budgeting. You had the uh, Chamber of Commerce, and their membership fees are pretty steep. They do a lot, they provide a lot, but to become a member, you got a hefty annual bill that you got to be, putting out there. And if you've got a new business coming in, all your money's being on that business. And what the Chamber of Commerce said about their goals about ribbon cutting not being limited to only new businesses. That if you're expanding or had changes of ownership or members, you know that they want to work with you on that. But that takes away from what I want to get into here is better budgeting. Last February, Scappoose had an issue where the only time I've ever witnessed the community actually appearing in the gallery for the meeting was because of the police department discussions that they might be, not renewing the contract and doing a contract with the sheriff's office. So, but to go back into budgeting, hopefully with the new city manager, there will be a much better presentation of how the budget is crafted and how it is accounted for. They talked about a new water treatment being either it's been put in service or it's about to be put in service. Time will tell. Recreation and programming, and that deals with outdoor recreation. One thing that I have to say about the city of Scappoose is the library director does a phenomenal job of doing activities, whether it's the summertime movies in the park or an Earth Day celebration, a kickoff for summer celebration. Uh, there's an annual, like a 5 mile run, 20 mile run that they put on. But this guy, the library director, does all of that. Why Scappoose wastes money on a Parks and Recs department is, I have my suspicions, but I don't want to cast any allegations until I can confirm them. And finally, and this was highlighted in their last city council meeting, which you can view online at YouTube under Scappoose City Council meetings, they are really uneasy about the future. They feel that there is a good economy right now, but they're tentative about what it is that the future holds. They don't know if it's going to remain good or if it's going to continue to grow. Time will tell. So each goal has been assigned to a city department, as it says here, and staff working on assignments. That this past meeting they got the green light. So they're each staff that's responsible. If you have questions about these goals, the next meeting is a week from Monday, and Monday is the 24th of February. So, what is that, the 3rd? And if you don't want to wait until the 3rd to address it to the city council specifically, Monday through Thursday at least, if not Monday through Friday, City Hall, the office on Columbia, is open to the public, and you can contact the department, the various departments there.